All right, last weekend, I'm sure you heard that Mark Anthony, my brother, got married, and to beautiful Nadia Ferreira. Congratulations to them. And I was able to catch up at table 13. We were the happiest and hypest table of the entire wedding, and of course, my boy Nasri from the group Magic was at my table, and it was great connecting with you. And thanks, you're on the move with Enrique Santos. Welcome, brother.
Thank you, man. We were so happy to be here. It was great running into you. I'm glad we got put in the same table because we never get to hang out socially. We're always working. So it was really, you're just as funny in real life, and our table was kind of hilarious. It was ridiculous.
Thank you. I thought you were going to say you're just as funny as you are funny looking.
You are funny looking, but not as funny as the beef that you smelt at the table. We should talk about that real quick.
We can real quick. So Ana Navarro you see her on the View there with Whoopi Goldberg on ABC. She was at our table as well.
That's who she is. Yeah. I was like, who is she? She looks so familiar.
The thing is, she dropped a lot of weight. Congratulations, Anna.
Congratulations.
She told me I went to fat
camp.
Those
carbs, baby.
Yeah, she says I went to fat camp. I lost weight. She looks fantastic. But she had a cow because while I was eating my cow, there was a round ball there. I didn't know what it was, so I cut it in half and I smelled it. And she says, adults don't smell their food.
Oh, bro.
That
was 20 minutes of the wedding. We could have danced more.
And then it's been a topic this entire week, by the way.
Yeah. That was actually really funny. And it actually broke the ice for the table. It became a really funny table after that. Because, when you're at a wedding and you kind of know each other, and you're all getting to know, you got to know my wife, I got to know your man. Like, everybody's just like, we're like, I kind of know you guys, on a social level, and it just like everybody just dipped right into the joke.
That's Instagram's fault, right? Because we see people that we follow, and it feels like we're part of their life and we're caught up to date, but we're not. We're so disconnected because we're just seeing pictures. But
right.
That's the power.
They took our phones, right?
You're right.
They took our phones. It made it a much more like old school experience. It was beautiful.
It actually.
Congratulations, Mark and Nadia. It was a beautiful wedding.
It really was. It was cool to connect and not have to be on the phone refreshing and taking selfies all the time. We're addicted to these things, and we're addicted to magic. You guys have been like on a hiatus for the past 4 years. Talk to me. What's going on with the group?
I think what it was is that we had this explosion with the song Rude, and after that we toured, and people didn't really realize that we didn't stop touring for about 5 to 6 years. We went around the world 3 times, and especially when you're like kind of this reggae fusion band, you end up in a lot of really interesting places that I think a lot of acts don't from Canada. We did a lot of shows in Guam and Hawaii and Jamaica. I mean, we're accepted in Jamaica as a reggae band, right? Which is kind of crazy. And I needed a break from it personally because I've always been a songwriter, writing for a lot of people. So I needed a break. It was a lot on the body, and I started a family. So my wife, Sandy, she moved from Germany, and I was just like, you know what, guys, like we've done 3 albums. I need a second. And I just needed space from them, and they also needed their space. So we started putting out kind of solo stuff, and we didn't know if Magic was going to come back. And during the pandemic, we had a meal, and we all saw the same vision. And that was that. Last year, we started making the record.
And you guys are back.
Yeah.
With a new album coming out in May, Inner Love Energy. So you're telling me that this album was inspired on mental health. Talk to me about that.
Our drummer, Alex, our ex-drummer now, I call it a hiatus. I refuse to let him leave the band because I love him, but he needed to step away because of, mental health and just he's inspired by new things. And he's doing good. He's doing a lot better these days, but he's going through it, and we all are. And I think from my standpoint, I started to go like, what's the purpose of this band? Just to sing, songs. Like, what's the purpose? Like, why was I given this gift? And I said, well, what if we made songs that made people feel better while they're singing along, but it's not like in a way where it's just like, and grab your mental health train and say words like mental health. Like, we don't do that. It's in a way that's really, creative. Like the first single, Ain't Got Nothing Figured Out. It's basically says like, I ain't got nothing figured out. Right. So it's like figuring out ways to say what everyone's feeling right now, but in a way that is cool and creative, and inspired by, the best possible pop music that we can make. So, we started to figure that. And once I realized that it was about self-love and inner love, we had what we believe is an amazing album.
Why do you think? Do you think it's the vulnerability that maybe some people feel, and they just don't like everyone, especially guys, right? We've got to be so tough, and we have a hard time admitting that we're having a tough time.
I'm one of those guys. I definitely filled with a lot of inner pride, and I don't share a lot of times. My wife tries to get me to share it, and I'm just kind of like, I think I have a little bit of ADHD because I kind of move on. I'm like, well, it's okay. I'm moving on in my mind, but we are all suffering. And we could blame, the social media all we want, and I think that it's a part of it, but I think that our expectations are way too high in this life. And I think that people just lived a simpler life when they knew less. And we know so many options of, you have people that are just like extremely rich and then extremely poor. And during the pandemic, it's funny, I was actually saying to my wife, well, you know what I see online? Have and have not. That's what I see. People who have and people who don't have. And I am seeing a lot of people don't have, and it made me very grateful for what I did have, and thank you to all the fans and everybody who has helped, me feed my children and stuff. And like, so all that stuff really sank in with me. And when we were making these records, there's some beautiful titles on this album, man. Like, especially with these first 3 songs that we released, Ain't Got Nothing Figured Out. We have a song called Ballerina. Mm-hmm. It's about somebody giving themselves a second chance, and saying like, don't stop dancing. As simple as that is, it's actually like a real issue with people giving up on their childhood dreams or whatever that is, or thinking that they're over. And then the other song is called Inner Love Energy, which is the title track. Really sick song. And like the first line is, all that was sour now tastes so sweet, now that I see the world with the bright side of me. So it's all about perspective. So I found all these angles, and I really challenged myself lyrically. But also the grooves are just crazy. Our band always we love our grooves. We're very groovy. So yeah, we're very excited to be back.
Congrats. We're excited you guys are back.
Thank you.
Inner Love Energy is out this May, and we're going to hear Ain't Got Nothing Figured Out a little later in the show. You have very heavy influences from artists like The Police, Stevie Wonder, Bob Marley, but there's a lot of people who don't know that you have worked with a lot of big-time artists that we all admire. Justin Bieber, Shakira. You have like 5 songs that you've done with Shakira. She's a big Magic fan.
We've been really, we have a great relationship with her. She had brought me in to write with her for an album, and I had said, hey, I started a band, and I showed her the band. This is like before Magic even came out, and she goes, I want you on my album. And we did a song called Cut Me Deep, and she literally took one of the Magic songs we made and collaborated, and I was like, wow, she's very cool. I went to Barcelona and stayed at her house, and she's great. She puts you up in a beautiful hotel, and she flies you business class, and she really treats songwriters and producers, to their actual value, creative value. So, and of course, obviously, the teenage me was in love with her. We were all in love with her when we were teenagers, and then to meet her as now an actual creative partner was amazing, and to then now, see her work ethic and stuff. I was like, wow, I see why you're so successful. Beyond your talent, you're really focused,
Since Shakira is your fan, since Shakira is your friend, and you guys have collabed on so many musical projects, I wanted your opinion on what do you think of her Piqué diss track?
Oh, please don't do this
with Bizarrap.
Man, I'm lucky that I don't speak Spanish.
Okay.
And
All right.
I'm going to stay out of it, but I will say that, from both sides, relationships are tough, and I wish them luck. It's like, I'm on side Shakira. She's my homie. And I hope that she heals and that she finds peace. But at the end of the day, the internet's funny, man. It's, I don't even know. I can't. She just makes, it's like, I laughed kind of at first because I was like, yo, she's crazy. But at the same time, it's like, you got to understand she's she loved her man, and so it's
Right.
like, you know, you can't. And she has the power to speak her mind, and if you want to, you should. And we don't know what that means later, but
Let me ask you a different way, and I respect that. We're all team Shakira.
Yeah.
Love and admire her, and it's you know, we're hurting for her because she's gone through a very tough time.
Right.
Infidelity is never fun. But you're a father.
Yes.
Would you ever? You're a great musician. You've written like over 2,000 songs, right?
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. Would you ever write a song dissing your baby mama?
Probably not. You know, it depends, man. Like, I'm not that kind of, like, I don't have that kind of energy. So I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think I have, but I do it subconsciously. Like, I probably wouldn't use her name, but like, you know, like, I've probably done it in songs and like therapeutically and not know, because there are sometimes I'll play a song for my wife that I write. She's like, "What the fuck? What does that mean?" And I was like, "Nothing." I'm like, "Nothing." And she's like, "Yeah, but is this how you're feeling right now?" You know.
You ever try to tell your wife, you know, in code through one of your songs?
Of course, man. That's the gift of a songwriter. But I think it's like, you know what's interesting about like our platform as creatives, right? You know what she did? She did like a hip hop thing.
Okay.
That's what she did. She actually did a diss track, like a hip hop thing.
Yeah.
Which is
Right.
will open up a lot of them, by the way. You're going to see a lot of women. I mean, you do that. I mean, Beyonce did it with Lemonade, right? Like, it's not new. It's not like she did anything new. I think it's just,
Yeah.
you know, man, pain is a very interesting thing to deal with as human beings,
Right.
right? Like, you're in pain.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, it could take control of you in ways that like are insane. So
For sure.
I think my wife would maybe do something like that. Like, if I really crossed the line, like, but she'd have me like work on the track with her too. She'd be
But
like,
you
"Can you
always
make me a
behave.
beat?"
I want to make. Can you make me a beat?
We love each other, but I'm saying she'll be like, "You know what? I can't stand you right now." and then she'll be like, "You need to make me a track and write the lyrics about how I can't stand."
That's a great name for a song. I can't stand you right now.
I can't stand you right now, you piece of shit.
You know what?
Pick up the kids because I got an appointment.
This could be Shakira's second track.
Hey, you know what? Yeah.
You know what made it so powerful with her? Obviously, because she's such a big name, obviously, in
She's dope,
music.
man.
And so is her man, Piqué, her ex-man. And the fact, and for those that don't know Spanish, you know, she went straight for the juggler because she mentioned the new girl,
really?
Piqué's new girl's name by,
Jesus.
her name is Clara Chia, and she's like, Claramente, and you know, she mentioned the name in there. Yeah, it was rough.
You know what? It's like, I'm not, you know what? You got to understand that if you're not on the side of pain, then you can't really truly understand what she's going through. I'm not on that side of pain.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I'm on the side of my friend Shakira and hoping that she heals. That's it.
Listen, wanted to mention other people that you've worked with musically.
Sure.
And a lot of people just don't know. From Mark Anthony to Prince Royce, Lana Del Rey, Christina Aguilera, Pitbull. You work a lot with Pitbull. Including,
man. Pitt's the man.
Of course, Feel This Moment.
Yeah,
Ooh, what a good song.
Feel This Moment. Yeah, that was, I didn't expect that to blow up the way it did. And it did. And Pitt's kind of funny. Like, no matter where we are or where we were when we'd hang out, it's like it always turned into an A&R meeting. Like, it's like he's always ready to play like 20 songs, 20 beats. And I was like, man, you learn a lot from him. You're like, wow, this is why you're so successful. Like, you know, like in the middle of a dinner, it's like, put the speaker on, let's go, let's listen to like, and I was like, okay, I'm different, right? It's like when I'm working, I'm working. When I'm not working, I'm not working. You know?
Explain that.
Like, in a situation like Mark Anthony's wedding and I haven't seen anybody, it's hard not to work because it's like we're all friends. We all know each other and want to become friends. But it's like our interests are the music that we make in the music business and what we do. But like if I'm hanging out with my boys like who are not in the music business, I don't play them anything. Like they don't want to hear a thing about the music business, you know?
Right.
It's like, so our business is very interesting that it's like we're just always working in our business, but we're not working because it's our passion. It's such an interesting thing. Like I think it's a lot like doctors. I bet you when doctors get together, they really like are into medicine and into like brain surgeons are like, yeah, it's like eating a fucking piece of chicken while talking about cutting somebody's brain open. Like
smelling it before you eat it.
Yeah, stop smelling his brain, bro. Just seal it. But yeah, I think it's really, really really an interesting job. And like, that's why I needed that break, because I needed, and not that I took a break, because I still wrote for everybody. During that time, I wrote with and for John Legend, her, Bieber. Like I did a lot of great stuff, and that's what I do for a living. I always tell people, it's like, I know you see me as the lead singer of Magic, but I've said it, I am a songwriter. And if tomorrow you see me in a DJ duo singing those songs, don't be shocked. If the next day you see Magic doing a salsa album, don't be shocked. If I just feel like doing it, I'm gonna do it. You know, like I'm on this earth to be creative and have fun. You know, like that's why, like that's the beautiful part of it. Like, you know, even it's so funny because, you know, and people don't know this, I was a ballroom dancer in high school.
Really?
Yeah. So
a good one or a so-so?
I was like a medium one. Like I would go on Sundays, and then it turned into like starting to perform. And I was going because I was into this girl, and then she took me to her ballroom, these classes. And I ended up being like, he was this Hungarian dude, and he was like, "You're good. You should train in this." And then he started training me, and I used to salsa and everything. So like I was in salsa clubs all through my 20s. And
is that where your love for like Latino artists and music come from?
That's when, you know, it's funny, even with a Mark Anthony, when he wanted to befriend me, you know, when Magic started, I was just like, do you not know who you are in my life? Like, you're like, I love salsa music.
How'd that come about? He requested you on Instagram or something?
No, he hit my manager. It was like, yeah, he's like,
Mark's on Instagram. Yeah. Oh, I want
no,
Magic to follow
Mark
me.
wrote me a Valentine's Day card and was like, hey, Nasri, you are so beautiful to me. You know, he was, but it's like stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, a lot of Latin artists started to hit me up. And I thought, I really understand the connection, you know, because they wanted to like collaborate with me. And I come from being an R&B writer. Like I come from writing Chris Brown and all these things. And then all of a sudden, all the Latin artists want to collaborate with me.
I heard a rumor, tell me if it's true or not.
Sure.
I'm not sure if you know this, but I was told that a lot of Latino artists wanted to collab with you. You know, Latinos are very religious, a lot of Christians, and your resemblance to Jesus Christ. They just that they wanted to collab.
You know what? They
you,
call me Sexy Jesus in the streets, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have Sexy Jesus on the move with Enrique Santos.
So one time we were performing in Italy, we were opening for Maroon 5, and a woman came screaming after the show to me. She goes, "Sexy Jesus!"
Oh, Jesus.
And I was just like, I literally, actually my wife was there, I believe, and I was like, I have to cut my hair off. She goes, "No, run with it." You know, and I'm just like, I'm not going to start wearing a robe on stage. I'm not running with this. Like, but I like having long hair, so I kept it. But
that's so cool. You're Sexy Jesus.
I don't think I'm a sexy guy, but I will accept the title.
You know how many people confused you at Mark Anthony's wedding with Marco Antonio Solis, El Buki?
Who is that?
El Buki. You both have long hair. For everyone watching, well, let's do a little side by side.
A lot of people were asking me who I was, like random people. Like,
because
who are you?
Because they confused you with El Buki.
El Buki.
That's what. Yeah, he's like 3 weeks older than you are, but yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
See the resemblance?
Yeah, that guy. I know this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I accept.
Big time singer in Mexico.
I accept.
All of Latin America.
Is he still with us?
Yes, he was at the wedding.
Oh, so he was there.
Yeah, so they thought maybe you were sitting at our table. They confused you with El Buki.
Oh, then they hear me just like cracking weird English jokes.
And they're like, it's too much English. El Buki doesn't speak that good of English.
Yeah.
He speaks good English, but not as good as.
Teach me something in Spanish.
¿Qué quieres que te enseñe?
¿Te quiere?
¿Qué quieres que te enseñe? What would you like for me to show you?
Oh, Jesus. Something does something like just make like something that make a fool of me a little bit. Like,
why would I want to make a fool of you?
I want to say something goofy in Spanish.
All right. How about I help you say something goofy.
Yeah.
But through one of your songs. A través de una de tus canciones.
Let me guess which song.
A song you haven't sang much. Out of your 2,000 plus songs that
you know what
written.
Song I haven't sung in a while and I really need to sing it?
Let me guess.
It's not.
Is it Rude?
Yeah, it's Rude. You know what?
Yes! What a coincidence.
You know what? When I hear Rude in a supermarket, people think that I have a problem with talking about Rude. Like,
are you sick of singing Rude?
No.
Did you believe in Rude?
I don't do a show every day.
I want to know, but I know you guys sang this song till like your lungs gave out.
It was ridiculous.
When it first started.
It was 6 times a day.
Were you a Rude fan when it first came out? And
no.
Were you surprised that it became such a global hit?
I still don't get it. I don't get why it's such a big song.
It's a good fucking song. That's why.
And yeah, but you got to think about it like this. I wrote Rude on some Tuesday, and I wrote some other song the day before, another song the other day with the same effort and the same love into them.
Did this happen in real life? Did you ask for some girl's hand and they told you to go fuck off?
No, I just made it up.
Oh, okay.
And
you're a great bullshit artist, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
The song's very good.
You know what's so interesting? This was my first attempt at reggae.
Okay.
And it did feel at first like, are we authentic in what we're doing? And I said, well, maybe we actually have to go earn this. Like, let's go actually perform this and perform this style until I become him. And now I'm him. It's like I actually like. It's like he had to be beaten into me.
Of course. Sexy,
yeah.
Sexy Jesus does reggae.
That's right. And you know what? And
it's magic.
That's magic. That's the whole thing about magic is now every time you see a cross, you could think about me. And that's how we'll brand our band.
I don't think we're ever going to be able to get this out of anybody's head now.
You know what?
Now, when I go to church, I'm going to see you. I'm going to see El Buki.
Yeah, I'm there. But yeah, I myself am Christian, and I grew up in the church, and I was an altar boy and stuff. And it's so when I go back to church, I'm Palestinian, I'm Arabic, right? So I go to a Middle Eastern church. It's very different, and the whole thing, the whole mass is sung. There's nothing spoken, right? Yeah, the whole thing, like I don't understand half the things that they're saying, and it's like. So I grew up in that environment, and then when I go back to church now, it becomes like this like photo op, right? Because all these kids, and I don't live in Toronto anymore. So when I go back, they're like,
wait a minute.
It's like really weird.
People are asking you for selfies during church?
Yes. And I don't mind because they're my
Is that a sin?
It is, yeah. God has real issues. God has issues with selfies in general.
But you're sexy Jesus.
That's true, but it's like I love it.
You can't deny a selfie. Like
no,
you can't
no.
You can't Bad Bunny it and like throw someone's cell phone. Like, no, I'm not taking a selfie.
No. That I don't know how you do that, but yeah, the throw. No, I can't. I'm too nice, man. I'm Canadian, man.
You are a sweetheart.
I'm a nice guy. I can't like when somebody comes up to me. Like I'm actually really happy that they're coming up to me. I'm like, oh, I'm not alone in the world. Like this is great. Like I loved being at the wedding. I loved feeling like I was out and like. We were out late and dancing and celebrating somebody's love. Like that, that's everything to me. Like, that's why I love touring. Like, I really miss touring because, like, imagine, like, you're here where you are now. And then you get on a plane, you're in Miami, and then you go to a show and complete strangers are in front of you. And they just can't wait for you to sing what you created.
Right.
It's surreal.
I can't wait for you to sing what we created. I co-wrote this song.
We're going to actually do this?
I co-wrote this song, inspired on your song "Rude," of course, and it has to deal with the high price of eggs.
Them. Okay, fine.
We know eggs are very expensive right now.
They are, and I eat 3 eggs a day, man.
Really? You're paying a lot.
Yeah, I'm paying.
What are better, white?
I got that Rude money.
White or brown eggs?
I prefer the brown eggs these days. I don't even know why. I don't know if there's a taste difference.
There is definitely a taste difference. They're a lot brighter. They're
like
bigger. They taste
thing?
better. No, not at all. But the brown one that had the little specks on it, they charge you more. They're like organic, I guess. I like those.
Have you ever had the actual green eggs? So my son. So I have 2 boys, right?
Does that come from a chicken? Green egg?
I don't know.
Green eggs and ham.
So green eggs and ham. So my son watches green eggs and ham.
Right.
It's refusing to eat like a decent breakfast, just eating garbage. And, they just con you, these kids, in the morning. It's like, I'm too tired. Just eat what you want, man. And so he's watching Green Eggs and Ham. It was like a little cartoon or whatever. And then we're at a farmer's market, and she's selling a carton of green eggs. And he's just like, I want the green eggs. First of all, you know how much the carton was? $26.
$26 for green eggs.
That's how I started my son eating eggs. Okay. By buying a 26, carton, and then I made him ham, a piece of ham, with an egg, like the show, and that was it. He was hooked on eating eggs in the morning because of the actual existence of green eggs.
That was very smart way of getting your kid to eat good protein.
That's right.
Which is now very expensive. This song doesn't have a title.
This think it's called Rude.
It's called Rude, but it's Rude Egg or Rude 2023 or what do we call it? Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's called No Eggs.
No eggs because it's so expensive. Okay.
No eggs.
No eggs.
I got no eggs.
So we're singing this together.
This is going to be an interesting experiment.
Can I sing like you?
Can I sing like you? It's early, man. I'm on LA time.
So to get me into the let's warm up. How do you warm up before you sing?
Okay, let's go. Relax the shoulders. All right, let's do it. Nobody cares how we sound.
Let's do it.
This is for you.
That's buying eggs this morning.
This is for you.
At the
Colonel
supermarket.
Sanders. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Saturday morning, jumped out of bed to make breakfast for you.
So got in my car and raced like a jet to the supermarket.
Nice. Knocked on your door, no eggs in my head.
Oh no.
Just fresh cut bacon.
'Cause I know that you like pork in bed. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I spread your butter for the rest of my life? Say yes, 'cause I need to know.
Sorry about the eggs, but the price so high. Don't you know if you heard about that bird flu?
I did. Why you gotta be so rude? Chickens have feelings too. Why you gotta be so rude? I want my omelets every day.
Omelets are great. Listen to me. This was poultry classic.
You know what we just created? An actual classic parody.
I love it. Is it or is it ridiculous? You decide.
Yeah. Let me know. Let's talk more about Rude.
Brother, I love you. All the best to you.
I love you too, man. Thank you for having us, and to all the fans out there, we really appreciate your patience during our hiatus, and we're back with some great music.
And that great music is already out. There's 3 singles out. Of course, we're going to hear Ain't Got Nothing Figured Out, Inner Love Energy out this May, Magic, inspired by mental health. This is much needed.